Welcome to Talk Tickers. Today, we are breaking down what was, frankly, a monster quarter from Nature's Sunshine. They just dropped a huge beat on both the top and bottom line, and they raised their guidance for the full year. There's a major shift in momentum here, so let's dig into how they did it.
Okay, let's just start with the headline number because, wow. That number you see right there, $128.3 million, that's a new record. We're talking about the best quarter in the company's entire history. And look, this wasn't just some squeak by beat. No way. This was a clear, loud signal that the business is starting to accelerate in a big way.
So you might be wondering, just how strong was this performance? Well, this was the definition of a broad-based acceleration. The business was basically firing on all cylinders. So let's break down the key numbers that made this quarter such a standout. The thing that just jumps off the page here is the incredible operational leverage. Think about it. Sales grew a very strong 12%, right? But their adjusted EBITDA, it absolutely exploded by 42%. That means their profit is growing 3.5 times faster than their sales. And that was fueled by a huge 200 basis point jump in gross margin, the highest it's been in nearly 4 years. All while they're sitting on a fortress balance sheet with almost $100 million in cash and, get this, 0 debt. It's just fantastic. So, the big question is, where did all this growth come from? And the answer is, well, everywhere. This wasn't a story of one single market carrying the whole company on its back. Not at all. What we're seeing is real, foundational strength across every single major geography, which proves their big strategic plans are finally starting to pay off on a global scale. And this chart right here just lays it all out perfectly. You've got APAC growing at 15%, Europe at 10%, both strong double-digit growth. And then you see North America accelerating too, with really solid 7% growth. Like I said, this isn't a one-trick pony. This is a story about a well-oiled machine that's executing across the entire globe. And speaking of North America, the story there was all about digital. 52%. Just let that sink in for a minute. While the whole segment grew 7%, the digital part of the business was completely on fire, up an explosive 52% year over year. This is that inflection point investors have been waiting for. It shows all those investments they made in their online platform are paying off in a huge way. And management was really clear that this isn't just about spending more money. The key here is efficiency. They're actually getting new customers for less money. That's what CAC, or customer acquisition cost, is all about. And because it's cheaper to get them, their return on ad spend is going through the roof. It's a smart way to grow, and it gives them the green light to just keep their foot on the gas. Now, let's talk about what was maybe the biggest surprise of the quarter, the turnaround story in China. You have to remember, just 6 months ago, the narrative around China was pretty gloomy. Management was talking about a really tough environment. But fast forward to today, it is a completely different picture. That market is growing again, and it's pretty much all thanks to one big thing: their new autoship subscription model. So let's just pause on this autoship idea for a second, because it is absolutely critical to understanding this story. It's exactly what it sounds like, a subscription model. It creates this beautiful, predictable, recurring revenue stream. It makes customers stickier, they stay longer, they spend more. And just to give you some perspective, in a market like Japan, this thing already accounts for half of all their sales. This is transforming the quality of their entire business. All right, so beyond the fantastic numbers, there was another huge piece of news that dropped just a week before the call. The company has a new CEO. His name is Ken Romanzi, and wow, check out this resume. We're talking a heavy hitter from the consumer goods world: Frito-Lay, Nabisco, Cadbury. This is a serious hire. And this quote from him on the call, it tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. He's drawing a direct parallel between managing a network of independent soda bottlers and motivating Nature's Sunshine's huge network of consultants. And that's a big deal. It shows he views their sellers not just as a sales channel, but as independent entrepreneurs, as partners. That message is going to land really, really well with the people on the ground. And his plan for the first 100 days? It's perfect. Exactly what you want to hear. He's not coming in promising to blow everything up. No. His plan is all about execution. He's going to learn the business, get out in the field, meet the people actually selling the products, and figure out how to empower them. It's about motivation, not disruption. It's smart. So you take this incredible momentum, you add in a new, experienced CEO, and what do you get? You get a big boost in confidence. So it should come as no surprise that after a quarter this strong, management went ahead and raised the bar for the rest of the year. Yeah, the sales forecast got a nice little bump, which is great, But just like with the quarterly results, the real story is on the bottom line. The new profit guidance, that's the adjusted EBITDA, is now pointing to growth of up to 21% for the whole year. That is a huge number. It's management basically saying, yeah, those margin gains we just posted, they're not a fluke, they're here to stay.
Now, to be fair, they were also really smart about setting expectations for the fourth quarter. They flagged two things. First, they're up against a really tough comparison from last year, which will make growth look harder. And second, about $2 million in sales probably got pulled into this amazing Q3 from Q4. So it's just good housekeeping, smart management setting the table properly. Okay, so let's put all these pieces together. You have record results, you have accelerating momentum, you've got new leadership. So what does this all mean for the stock? That brings us to our take.
Yep, this is the question on every single investor's mind right now. After a performance like this, you have to ask, what is the next move for the stock? Where does it go from here?
All right, here's our call. Based on these accelerating fundamentals and what we see as a couple of really unappreciated catalysts, our rating for Nature Sunshine is outperform.
And here's our outrageous but plausible trade idea. Our thesis is this. We think the market is still looking at this company like an old-school direct seller and is completely missing the shift to a stable, recurring revenue business driven by autoship. Then, you layer in the new CEO, who we see as a massive, unmodeled catalyst who knows exactly how to re-energize a sales force like this. So our call is that this underlying momentum from digital and subscriptions will be strong enough to power them right through those tough Q4 comps, leading to another beat and raise quarter and a re-rating of the stock.
And as always, this is not financial advice.